Hey everybody, I am outside today right now. We're taking a 30-minute break over here, just enjoying the scenery. Stay tuned, I'll tell you where we're at and what's going on and what this video is going to be about. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. Today is Monday, the 13th of December, 2021. I am in Utah, just west of the Utah-Colorado border, off of Interstate 70. We are heading west. We picked up a load in Broken Bow, Nebraska, and headed to Redlands, California. Then we got a pre-plan picking up in Southern California and headed back to Nebraska. I love these runs, these long runs like this. Just to let you know, we've already pretty much made our bonus for the quarter as far as miles. Now we just got to stay safe. So if you've been following, it's the safety and productivity bonus. It's quarterly at Crete, Shaffer, and Hunt Transport. We've been trying to make it every quarter. Looks like we're going to do it. We just got to stay safe. But we're heading into Southern California, and that's always fun. So, a few things I wanted to talk about on this video here. I mentioned that I wanted to talk a little bit about getting into the profession, or maybe you're just getting started. I think there are certain things that you have to. I'm going to turn as we go, just so you can see different things, including Opal Lands behind me right there. Just a few things that you have to, that I personally think that you need to have, as far as at least attitudes and likes and and that kind of stuff, and even some abilities to be successful out here. And again, this is my list. It doesn't mean that if you've been driving for a while, or you used to drive, and you've got additions you think, or you can put them in the comments below. That'd be great. But for me, I think that this is something that these are some things that you need in order to be successful, like I said. So again, this is just my list. But the number one thing that I think you need to do, and it may sound simple and it may sound just obvious, but you have to like driving. There are a lot of truck drivers out here that don't like driving. There are a lot of people that get into careers that they just absolutely hate, or they don't like a certain portion of it. Most people don't like something about their job, but if you're going to be successful in this, you got to like driving. When I worked in education, you'd be surprised how many teachers did not like children, but there were quite a few. And they would tell you they just don't like children, But out here, you do see some people, they just don't like to drive. And you can tell those are going to be the people that are always complaining that they have trouble making money, and they, and that the job, is just, it's too monotonous for them, and that kind of stuff. They don't, so that's the number one thing. I think, think about that. I mean, if you have trouble in a four-wheeler driving, a lengthy trip, you're probably going to not enjoy driving a big rig in a long, lengthy trip either. I think you have to also, especially if you're going to be an OTR driver, over-the-road driver, or even if you're going to be a regional driver that's going to be out for most of a week, you gotta not mind being away from home. I don't say that you gotta like being away from home, but you gotta not mind being away from home. For me, I'm lucky enough that I'm not married, I'm not in a relationship, and my kids are all grown, so I don't have that hook where I got to be home every week or every 3 weeks or whatever. It also, but if you can't survive being away from home, and that's one thing that a lot of truck drivers have a problem with. that they get off the road really quick is that um, they just can't see themselves being away from home as much as you need to be. And this time of year, you also need to think about, if you're okay with sometimes missing holidays, because you're going to do that. You're going to miss some holidays. You're going to miss some big events. Now, companies will work with you. Crete's really good about it. Crete guarantees that if you want to be home for Christmas, they're going to route you through the house for Christmas. You may just be there for the day, but they're going to get you home or someplace that you want to be, or you can stay out. That's up to you. But you got to realize you're going to miss some things like that, and you have to weigh the cost and the benefit and see if that's okay for you. You have to enjoy spending time alone, because there is quite a bit of time that you're going to spend alone. And so you need to be able to keep your brain going. You can see, up here in if you look behind me and you can see Opal Land, I have an antenna up here for my Sirius XM. I use that thing so much. I have internet on my truck. I have, all that kind of stuff. I mentioned, my buddy Mark in a previous video. You have people that you contact, that you talk with, that kind of stuff, to keep from the being alone. But you're going to be alone a lot, and you have to be able to keep yourself going. I know some people like listening to books on tape. I started doing some of that. I like it better than I thought I was going to. So you just have to go with stuff like that. You have to be a good organizer. If you're not a good organizer, if you can't plan trips, if you can't, deal with how you're going to set up your runs and your days and everything, then it's going to be difficult for you, because any company that really you're going to make money with is going to put you out there and trust you to get the job done and to run the loads. They're going to help you as much as you need it, but they want you to be out there doing the job. That said, you got to be a problem solver. If you're not a problem solver, you're going to have issues out here. You're going to run into problems, sometimes on every day. Sometimes you might not see any problems for weeks, but you have to be able to work on them and solve them. Because if you can't, again, it's going to be rough on you. You have to. I personally think you don't need to be a neat freak, but you need to have some semblance of cleanliness. But if you're too much like that, it can be a problem. Let me tell you what I mean. That's your home while you're in it. That truck. You need to keep it clean. You need to keep it, relatively organized. Now, you're not going to make your bed every day and everything like that, but you got to keep it fairly clean. There are people that they have trash all over their trucks. And I truly believe, and I think if you talk to a lot of truck drivers who've been out here for a while, they will tell you that if you roll into a scale and your truck is dirty, there's stuff all over the dash, there's stuff everywhere, you're more likely to get pulled in for an inspection. I just believe that. Also, if you got stuff all over your dash, that could be a violation, because it could be blocking the defroster vents, and that can be a violation itself. So, you got to keep it clean. You don't want that to be that small house that you have, basically, to be all dirty and everything like that. Now, on the other side, like I said, you not being so fanatic about it, you also have to realize that while you're trying to stay clean, you're going to have to use public showers sometimes. You're going to have to use public restrooms sometimes. You're going to have to do all those things. And they keep them fairly clean, most of the big chains. But if you're not okay with doing that and using those things, it's going to be rough on you. And the last thing that I really want to mention to you is I think that you have to be a little fearless yet cautious in this job. And what I mean by that is that there are people that the first time they get into a big city driving one of these big trucks, they lose it, and they quit right there. You have to be cautious, but you also need to know that you got to get that truck where it needs to go. You need to do it safely. You need to do it the right way. You know, all those different things. But if you let the fear grab onto you, goes beyond being cautious and being safe, but the fear, it's going to be really hard for you to be successful out here, because you're going to have trouble parking, you're going to have trouble backing, you're going to have trouble, you know, in cities, you're going to have all sorts of trouble every time something like that happens. So it's things you learn as you go over a little bit of time, but those are just some aspects that I think you need to be successful. That's my personal opinion. You might have a different opinion. If you're a truck driver who's been out here or and are watching my video, please, if you have additional things, or if you think maybe I'm wrong about something, leave a comment below. We're all trying to learn out here. One of the things that my buddy Trucker G, if you haven't seen his channel, Trucker G, one of the things that he told me, it's my Trucker G, by the way, is my cousin, is that if you're out here and you think you know everything and you think you don't still have stuff to learn, you better get off the road, because you're going to end up killing somebody. And I think that's true. You got to constantly learn. And I'm doing that. I've been doing this job. Been driving a truck now almost 2.5 years. That's not a long time, but it's a decent amount of time. And I'm still loving it, and I'm still learning, and hopefully helping you out as well. That said, we're just about ready with our break. I'm planning on doing another video tonight or tomorrow, because on my way to California, I got to do a 34. And I am doing a 34 in one of my favorite places in the country. We'll show you on the next video. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon down below. It'll let you know when I do post. If you have any comments, questions, leave them down below. If you are thinking about coming to Crete or Shaffer or Hunt Transport, my information is down below. You can send me an email. I'll get you in touch with who you need to get in touch with. I'll answer whatever questions I can, or again, get you in touch with whoever you need to. If you do call recruiting yourself, please use my driver code down below. I'd appreciate that greatly. Okay, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Double Dog. I am off of Interstate 70 in the beautiful state of Utah, and I'm driving for Crete Carrier Corporation, and I'm psyched about it. You guys have a great one. We will talk to you soon.